Welcome to Les Arcs. We're starting in Paisy-Valandry and I'm outside the tourist office. So we're going down to Paisy village in these lobster pots, which is great fun. And we just caught the last ones. Woo! A lot of the lifts in Les Arcs could really do with updating. They're quite old, there's not a lot of storm covers. But this, I think, has got real comedy value. We're starting in Paisy village and we're looking for a restaurant, but the only thing that's lit up is this beautiful church behind me. If you want to stay in an original French village away from the main area of Les Arcs, this is the place for you, Paisy. There's two bars in Paisy if you turn left from the lobster pot. One's called La Plage and one's called Greg's, and there's a couple of restaurants, but not much else. This bar is very unusual. They serve cocktails, they serve beer, they sell bath mats, and they do a little bit of arts and crafts over in the corner, as opposed to Greg, which has a pool table and a smoking room. Between Greg's bar and the post office, that is also a bar, there is this reception that leads into a restaurant, and we had raclette tonight, and somebody had a pizza with no cheese and all meat, and they catered for every taste. I'm in Valandry, 1600. It's a beautiful sunny day in the Alps. This is a perfect place for families to stay. There are lots of apartments and it can work out very cheap if you're a couple with 2 children. The ski schools have all gone off, they're busy, but the slopes are very, very empty. We're on the chairlift going up towards 2000. There's hardly anyone on the slopes. It's a glorious day. We're at Col de la Chale, height 2,600. It's got a restaurant area and there's pedestrian access if you're not skiing. There may not be much lower down, but here it's fantastic at 2,000. Although Les Arcs has started to put in artificial snowmaking machines, that's not the end of the story, because the problem here is there's a shortage of water, and as you can see, this reservoir behind me, when they really need to make some snow, is half empty. There's a man-made village over there. It's at Les Arcs 2000, and you can probably see the little tents. It's an igloo village they've built, and I'm going to take you down and show you. I'm sitting inside the igloo village. It's really cool in here. There are ice sculptures, there's a bar, and there's little grottos. This looks like Merlin, and he's pointing the way into the grotto. At the back of the igloo, there's an ice bar. This place probably rocks at après-ski time. I'm taking you down. The Ball Cafe is a hotspot, and you can get lobsters and champagne should you so desire, and the pizzas are enormous. Of all the little restaurants on the mountain, Aux Enfants Terribles has good music and quite a funky inside. The only problem with coming skiing in January is with climate change and the snow coming later, you run the risk of little snow. If you look behind me, you can see a lot of green. Also, a lot of the lower slopes are closed and the sky is really heavy with snow, so some people run the risk of skiing in whiteouts. But then again, it means that the resorts are practically empty in January and the slopes are clear. This is my favourite part. I love skiing home through the trees. We're off to explore La Plan today. We're over in La Plan. La Plan and Les Arcs together form ski paradise. Let's go and find out. We're on the way down to the bottom lifts in La Plan. They really cater for the children here. Behind me are two little teepees and a little teepee village for them to play in. It's the 12th of January and La Plan needs snow. Even though they've managed to keep most of the runs open, it's very thin. Today's our last day of skiing, and as you can see, it's a whiteout, which is great for the people coming next week, but I don't think we're going to start skiing very early today. The problem with coming in January is that as the snow starts to get later, you are going to have these days where it's almost impossible to ski. Let's hope the wind doesn't blow the snow off the top and it stays thick for the people later on. We've had a great time here in Les Arcs. The skiing is extensive. The food in France is much more expensive than in Austria, and the nightlife is not so good. Also, the taxis are very expensive. 25 euros for 3 miles last night. All in all, we've had a brilliant time here.